Applying for lucrative credit card bonuses is an easy way to boost your miles and points balances, but there's a lot that goes into it. So before any round of applications that I have, I like to do a 3-point checklist. So first things first, make sure your credit is okay. Pull your credit report. You can do it for free on sites like Credit Karma and Credit Sesame. You can pay sites like Experian $20, or American Express will give you a free credit report, or just suck it up and pay $25 to FICO to get your actual FICO score. You definitely want to be above 700, and the higher in the 700s or 800s that you can get, the better your chances of getting approved. Make sure that there's no missing payments or late payments or any abnormalities, because if there are, you want to get those taken off your report before you do any applications. Another big thing is, the number one factor of your credit score is how much available credit you have and how much you're using. Now, you would think that the credit card companies would only report your balance after your statement closes and after they give you ample time to pay it, right? Well, unfortunately, credit card companies will report your balances mid-month at random times, so you never quite know, when they're going to report it to the agency. So right before a churn, the month of, I like to pay off all my bills right away, even if I'm weeks away from the statement closing, because I want to keep the balances low, so that at any time when the credit card company reports, they're going to report a low balance, and then once I have, this past month I did that, and I only had 3% of all of my available credit being used. My score shot up 40 points. It's incredible how quickly your score can shoot up when it's reported that you have no balances. So once that's in line, I take an inventory of my current credit cards. So I currently have 17 credit cards, which to some people may sound like a ton, but to advanced churners that may be nothing. But you don't want to be paying annual fees of all these different cards, because those fees eat into the amount of value you're actually getting. So I always like to do an inventory and say, is this card working for me? Is it not? And even if it is working for me, is there another option out there that would actually be more lucrative? Case in point, I have an Amex Platinum card I've had for years. I love it. Great benefits. I'll always keep one, especially because I fly American and Delta, and it gives me access to the lounges. But there's now a Mercedes-Benz Platinum card, which is essentially the same thing with the $25 more annual fee, but comes with a 50,000 point sign-up bonus. So instead of keeping my regular Amex Platinum, I can switch to this Mercedes-Benz version, bank 50,000 points, and still enjoy all the great benefits. So I actually, in this post, will do a list of all the current cards that I have and kind of how I do a checklist of, is this card working for me or not? A lot of cards nowadays give you perks that pay for it every year, so you might as well keep it open. However, everything has an opportunity cost. If you're keeping one card open and that credit card company won't let you get any new cards, you have to take into account, well, by getting this annual free night at a Hyatt, is this going to bar me from getting a different card? But I'll get into the details of actually different tricks that you can use to get approved for more cards without giving up current ones. And then after you take an inventory and decide which cards to cancel, don't cancel them right away. You never want to cancel a bunch of cards before a round of applications, because you're going to lose a ton of available credit. So keep the cards open and then cancel them in case you need to call the reconsideration line. You can then use those cards as leverage. Say, well, you know what? I actually don't need this card. Why don't you take the credit line from this in order to open up the new card? That works with a lot of different issuers. And then once you get your whole new round of cards approved, then you can go in and cancel the cards, or at least switch their credit lines onto new cards. So that's the basic rundown. The biggest thing is, make sure your credit is strong. My score has actually increased over the years with all these different cards, and I'm excited to get a whole new round of cards, and I'm excited to share with you which ones I chose, which I will do tomorrow, so stay tuned.